Mr. Chairman, and thank you to our witnesses for being here today. So, as we've heard and as we know, U.S. law permits TPS designation for nationals of a country when ongoing armed conflict poses a serious threat to their personal safety. So I recently sent a letter to the administration with the ranking member calling out the hypocrisy of revoking TPS for South Sudan, a country plagued by armed clashes, with DHS claiming that there have been improvements in the civil safety outlook. But at the very same time, the administration has designated South Sudan as a level 4 travel advisory zone, do not travel, stating that the armed conflict is ongoing and includes fighting between various political and ethnic groups. And as Ms. Scanlon referenced, at the same time, the Trump administration has revoked TPS protections for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans while escalating actions that could lead us into war with their home country, which we had a bipartisan briefing on yesterday. Mr. Williams, President Trump campaigned on going after the, quote, worst of the worst when it comes to immigrants. But to be eligible for TPS, you have to not only be from one of these countries that is designated for TPS, you also have to meet strict criminal background checks and be re-vetted every 18 months to ensure that you are still eligible for TPS. Are the TPS holders that work with your union and your colleagues the kinds of people that Trump has called the worst of the worst?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could call somebody who pays their taxes, who works on the books, works in our industry, the worst of the worst. And I was offended by Congressman Van Drew saying that our membership supports pulling the rug on TPS. When we speak to our membership, that is their brother, that is their sister. That is not somebody who is here unlawfully. That is somebody who is here lawfully under the protections that were granted by this body and given every chance to build an American lifestyle for them and their families.
Well, I really appreciate that, Mr. Williams. We've had a bunch of ICE raids and CBP raids in my area of North Carolina. And what's resulted is people who do have legal status being picked up, citizens being picked up, construction sites completely shut down. Now, I actually was born in Pennsylvania, but I'm not from your area of Pennsylvania. But let me tell you, the Research Triangle of North Carolina is a growing area, and we have active projects. And we cannot have people who are here legally scared to go to work and have these construction projects shut down. I just want, before we talk a little bit about that, so get ready, Mr. Williams, I want to ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the statement from Nancy J. Ellis, the former mayor and newly reelected mayor of the borough of Charleroi, who said that the testimony of Mr. Kalashi's and his opinions are biased and will not give a fair view of the Haitian community of Charleroi.
Without objection.
So with the time that you have, about a minute, Mr. Williams, talk about the effects on construction projects, infrastructure projects, when people who have legal status are afraid to show up to work.
Yeah, not just afraid to show up to work, but you know, leaving the industry because how the industry itself is being targeted. The effects that we have is it creates an even larger worker shortage in this country, skilled workers that have been trained, that have been vetted, that have worked in the industry for well over 10, 15 years. The effects are dramatic. And, you know, as a labor leader, I'm here talking about the human aspect of this on our membership. But I can tell you, our partners, which are our employers in our industry, those that directly employ TPS recipients, are saying, wait a second, this is not what we thought we voted for. And most of those employers supported this current president of the United States and have been supporters of many people on the other side of the aisle than the Democratic Party. And that's the truth, you know, and they are concerned about where they're going to find a workforce into the future.
Thank you, and I yield back.
Mr. Biggs.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Rogers' temporary protected status